Well, good morning, traders. It is 8 o'clock sharp here on the West Coast. I think 11 o'clock on the East Coast of the U.S. So let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for showing up. This is followmetrades.com. I'm Dean Jenkins, and Saturday morning is the time I spend looking for trades, new trades for the upcoming week. And so I've invited you to sit in on that, and let's see if we can find some good trades. Look like we got a lot of people here. It's a very full room. It's awesome. Glad you could be here. Well, hello, Enoch. Let's see, Rich, Jeff, everybody else who's typed in good morning. Good morning to you. All right, looks, we still got people logging in, so while we're waiting, make sure you can find the questions panel there, because in part of this session, I'm going to ask you to type in any symbols you're interested in. We'll take a look at those. But while we're waiting for everybody to get logged in, hey, good morning, Frank. It's always fun to see where people are calling in from. So why don't you type in the city, the state, country, where you're calling in from. It's always interesting. We get people from all over the world, like now. Austria, Frank, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, Jersey, San Diego, Warren, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Bend, Oregon, Nadine, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Nigeria, no way. Vancouver, South Florida. Tom, Wilmington, North Carolina. Is it warm down there? It's getting warm here. It's going to be 90 degrees here today in Washington State. I'm just south of Seattle. That's pretty warm for us. Richard says, Vegas, baby. It's 90 there already. Nice. Delaware. Houston. Sands calling in from Canberra, Australia. Michigan. We've got several continents represented already. That's awesome. Maryland. Got pretty much the whole U.S. covered. Nice. Okay, well, I think people are pretty well logged in now. So let's go ahead and kick it off. So again, I'm Dean Jenkins. This is followmetrades.com. I'm the founder, and this is Saturday Scanning. We're going to be looking for some good trades. Before we get started, of course, quick disclaimer. I'm a trader. I'm not a financial advisor. And whatever I present here is my opinions, and it's education and information. I'm going to be analyzing the markets and looking for trades using methods that I've developed. If I think it's a good trade, I'm going to make note of it. But whether anybody takes a trade, makes an investment, of course, that's their decision, and each individual assumes the risk for their own trading and investing, and trading and investing certainly does carry risk. So we got to be aware of that. So I'm not giving financial advice. It's for education information purposes only. All right, here's what I'm going to do today. Hey, Silvano, you're welcome. Glad you're here. So I'm going to walk through, this is how I approach scanning, is I first just step back and look at the overall market. You know, what's the big picture? What's going on? Then I create a thesis of, you know, what I think is going to happen. So it's fine to create a thesis. That's an ungrounded thing. There's no proof of it necessarily. It may be hints or clues, but all my trading is based on reality, right? The actual reality of what's going on a particular chart with price action. The only realities in the market are price and volume, but it's fine to create a thesis, and that can be based on whatever you believe, right? Cyclicality, election cycles, phase of the moon, sector rotation. There's all kinds of ways to create a thesis, right? And I'm going to create a couple today. Then we go look at a list of stocks that thesis yields, and I'm looking at stock and option trades today, right? So I get a list, and then I try and narrow that list down to a very manageable list. And I go look at some charts and see if my trade setups are there. So that's what I'm going to walk through this morning. And again, I'll do my quick scans, see if we can find some good trades. And you probably want to stay till the end, because I'm going to be listing these trades, and I'll put them on a spreadsheet, and at the end of the session you'll be welcome to download that spreadsheet and take it away with you. some trade ideas. Yeah, Fernando, the chat is the only question area. Yeah, where you typed in that question, that's the only chat area. So again, I'm going to scan for some trades here, see if we can find some good stuff based on some ideas I have. Then I'll analyze any charts that you're looking at. Who knows, you might have a good idea, something I'm interested in. Two-way street, right? So let me tell you about my trade setups before we start looking at charts. I use a combination, I call it East meets West. I use a combination of Ichimoku Cloud and Elliott Wave, a very simple version of Elliott Wave. I really only have 3 trade setups. You know, some approaches to Elliott Wave, I counted have 144 permutations and combinations. That's unmanageable. It's ridiculous, right? I have 3 setups that I'm looking for, and I'll show you that. But here I look at Ichimoku Cloud, and the Ichimoku Cloud has 10 con line, which is fast. It's very similar to a fast moving average, simple moving average, calculated a little bit differently. Then there's a slow line, which is purple. And then we got the span A, span B. Span A is the green, span B is the red, and it creates this shaded area, which is called the cloud. So I'm simply looking for price to break and be above the cloud, an uptrend, and have the fast cross over the slow, or for a downtrend, just the opposite, price to be below the Ichimoku cloud. That's an extra confirmation for me that a trend is definitely underway. Here's my approach to Elliott Wave. I'm only trying to trade, you know, wave 3, which is a big impulsive move. If we can catch that early, coming out of a channel or out of a market that's been going sideways, that's a good trade. Wave 4 is a correction to the overall major trend, and that can be tradable if there's enough profit. And then wave 5 is the continuation of the trend. So I'm only looking for a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 setup confirmed by Ichimoku Cloud. Pretty cool. I use Dow theory to confirm when a new trend, new wave has begun. Dow theory, simple version of it, says, you know, you got an uptrend when you got a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And trends begin when you get a high, higher low, and a new high. When the price action starts putting in new highs, taking out previous highs, pretty good chance you got a trend starting. And when you start taking out previous lows, pretty good chance the trend is ending. Same thing for a downtrend. You start putting in new lows, you got a trend on your hands, and when you start taking out previous lower highs, it's probably over. It's not perfect. Nothing's 100%. There's no free lunch on Wall Street, but it's highly probable, and it gives you a pretty good clue a high percent of the time. Well, we still got more people logging in. Good morning to you. Glad you're here. Got right now 125 people. Popular topic, I guess, but thanks for showing up. Okay, so another thing, what I'm looking for in a high potential trade, right? I want a high probability of winning, meaning that it has met my setup criteria. Hey, Sierra, good morning. So on a high probability of winning, I want a clear support and resistance area, so my stop placement. And then I want a high reward to risk ratio. So this is really important in trading, I believe. And it's been key to, I think, my consistent profitability, and that is you got to manage risk in trading, right? You have, if a trade's going to lose, and some trades, you know, it's inevitable, some trades are going to lose. If it's going to lose, we want the amount that we lose on the trade to be a tolerable, manageable amount such that it's not a big setback in our account. I use 2%. The max I'm willing to lose is 2% of my account on any given trade. That's not my position size. Position size is calculated differently. But if it hits the stop, the max I want to lose is 2% of my account. And then if I want the trades to have the potential to be big, if it's going to win, I want the win to be bigger than the amount it was going to lose if it's going to lose, because that gives healthy trading statistics. It gives a healthy payout ratio. And you can be a 50% trader. You only have, if you only win 50% of the time, but your winners are twice as big as your losers, you're very profitable. It takes the pressure off, right? Now we want to get our win ratio as high as possible, but I think it's more important to focus on payout ratio. And we do that by taking trades with a high reward to risk ratio. And so the way I calculate this, right, risk per share is simply on a long trade, entry minus the stop. So if we enter at $5, the stop's 444, right? We got 56 cents risk per share, right? Reward is simple. We take the target, and I use the conservative. I project a target zone, and then I take the conservative lower edge of the target zone, right? So the low target minus the entry gives me the potential reward per share, which is, in this case, $1.64. And then I just divide those, get a ratio. And on this trade, this example, the reward to risk ratio is 2.93, nearly 3 to 1. That's pretty good, right? If I win and it hits my target, I'm going to make 3 times as much as I would lose if it fails and hits the stop. That's what I want, trades like that. All right, so let's go scan. I just wanted to walk through my criteria real quick, before I started doing it, kind of explain what it is I'm doing, and I'll give updates on the way, of course. Here. No, it's fine for questions. San is asking, can I explain when wave 1 starts? Yeah, wave 1 begins at the very beginning of a trend. So in this case, I'm looking at the S&P 500, right? The beginning of the trend, and the S&P 500 has been going up for 8 years. So the beginning of the trend is back here in 09. It's simply, we got this big, long move, very impressive rally. So the beginning of the trend and the beginning of wave 1 is the very lowest price bar. And I got it labeled here as wave 1, 2. Right? This is all still 3. Yeah, Peter, he's asking how I determine my target. I'm going to show you on some charts here. It's either the wave, if I'm trading a correction, it's the wave 4 correction zone, which is projected using Fibonacci retracements. Or it's a continuation of the trade, and I use Fibonacci extensions to calculate that. But you're going to see it in a minute. Fernando, yeah, it's recorded. We're recording this, and I'll send a link out to everybody that registered. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I said I scan, right? I go, what's the big picture here? So let's go back to the S&P daily. Drew, hey, glad you could show up. So here's the S&P 500 on a daily chart. And Sierra saying, what platform am I using? This TradeStation. I like TradeStation. So what do we observe here on the S&P 500, right? It's an uptrend, bull market, uninterrupted. Last week put in new all-time highs. So pretty long in the tooth. I'm not too interested in trying to go long in stocks that are moving with the S&P 500 at this point, because it's late, right? I don't like to chase trends. I want to try and catch them when they come out. So a little late to be chasing the S&P, in my opinion. But let's look at something else here. Let's look over at the NASDAQ, because there's something interesting going on the NASDAQ. See if I type that in right. Jay, got a baby shower starting in 30 minutes. So, yeah, I'll be sending a recording out, Jay. You don't want to miss the baby shower. Right. There's no second chance on that one. I pulled up the wrong chart. Get the right chart. I was looking at this going, this doesn't look right. NASDAQ, here we go. So what do we see on the NASDAQ, right? It's had an amazing bull run too, right? It did not put in new highs last week. In fact, it took a little bit of a hit, didn't it? And so my thesis in looking at the NASDAQ is, and this is unproven, right? But it's a thesis, it's a theory, that it looks like, I think, the NASDAQ might be starting a correction. Could be modest or it could be big, but I think it's starting a correction. Remember I talked earlier about Dow theory, and it says, lower lows, lower highs. Now this wouldn't be confirmed until we put in a new low, but we got a pretty good down move. Dave says sector rotation began on June 9th. Okay. Into XLV. Interesting. XLF. Oh, financials. Yeah, the financials have been hot, huh? So here's a sector. I'd like to go look at the NASDAQ and see, it looks like this is heading down, but it's not proven yet. So I'm gonna go look at the NASDAQ 100 and see if there's some stocks that are already kind of breaking through the cloud and going negative. Maybe there's some good short trades available. I can get in on this pretty early. Norman's asking, what's my average holding period? For a stock trade, stock and option trades, about 4 to 6 weeks is the typical hold period for my trades. Some are faster, some are longer, but that's the average. All right. So I'm going to go look at the NASDAQ 100. Now, who would want to look at 100 charts? I like looking at charts, but I think I'd get pretty burned out if I was going to look at 100. But TradeStation's got some pretty powerful, this is called radar screen, and I've got my Ichimoku cloud indicator loaded up here, and I can put the NASDAQ 100 in it. 4 to 6 weeks on a daily chart, yeah. I trade wave 3, 4, and 5, right? Fernando says, money is going into biotech. I agree, Fernando. You're a good straight man, because we're going to look at that next. I'm going to look at NASDAQ 100, and then I have another thesis about biotech sector. All right, so we're going to look at that as well. But let's look at the NASDAQ. So I'm just going to insert NASDAQ 100. Right there, okay. Dave's observation is that semiconductors and biotech, I think that's biotech typo, tend to move in opposite direction since the 90s. Yeah, it could be. And these are all good theories to test, right? But ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here's my theory. I think the NASDAQ may be starting to head down, and there may be some shorting opportunities. So I'm going to go look at charts. So I've just loaded the NASDAQ 100 into radar screen on TradeStation, and you can see it's giving me it's giving me the indicators here, the values for span A, span B, the trend direction from Ichimoku Cloud, whether price is above the cloud or below the cloud. So that's pretty good. I got all this data. Now TradeStation isn't quite nimble enough to do the kind of sorting and filtering that I want to do, but the cool thing is you can grab all this data, copy it, right, and put it in a spreadsheet. And Excel is marvelous at, that's what it's about, is being able to manipulate data and sort and filter and do formulas and stuff. So I've already pasted this data. I didn't want to bore you while I worked this out on the spreadsheet. So I got all this data from the NASDAQ 100, posted onto a spreadsheet, and then I threw some quick logic statements in. I said, hey, if the trend is down, meaning the fast line is crossed over the slow line, the Kaijun over the Tenkan, right, and price is below the cloud, then that's a bearish signal. And then I'm calculating what percent is price either above or below the cloud. That just tells me how early in the trend it could be. So I'm interested in bearish trades right now in the NASDAQ, because again, I said, I think it looks like it might be turning down. Let's see if we can catch some early ones. So I'm just going to sort this. And again, if we identify some trades, I'm going to put them on a spreadsheet and make it available for you to download in this session. So if you're interested in that, you might want to hang out till the end. So we're going to say bear signal, is what I'm interested in. And I want the ones that are the closest to the cloud, right? Earliest in the trend. So there, I got a list of potential candidates in priority order. And now what I can do is start looking at these charts. Rather than go and look at all 100, this gives me a prioritized list to see if I can find a few trades. Interesting that it brings up STX at the very top. That warms my heart because we just went short on STX last week. So pretty cool that it came up on this list. I'm going to answer a few questions. Norman saying, how do I decide which issues to purchase stocks versus options? Options are always my first choice. Options are always my first choice because A, I can control risk, and B, It's very efficient with capital. It's leveraged, right? I'm a directional trader. I buy calls if the chart's bullish, and I buy puts if the chart's bearish. And there's a whole strategy for that. You have to, you can read articles that 80% of option buyers lose money. I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry for them, because that doesn't happen to me. I have no intention of holding them. I do not hold them to expiration. I buy them with the expectation that they will appreciate, and then I sell them. And if it's not going right, if the underlying chart fails, I get out of them for a very small loss. So that works out for me. These are free indicators, Frank. The indicators that I'm using, the Ichimoku Cloud, and I'm going to be using Fibonacci tools, those are free. Fernando says he was short STX and didn't work out, hit his stop. Yeah, I'm still in it. Yes, Marabella, I will give you this spreadsheet and the other one we're going to do, and the list of trades that we're going to generate. I'm just going to give you all kinds of stuff today. Norman, how do I when purchasing options, how do I determine which one? There's a whole process, and it's kind of out of scope. I want to make sure we get some scanning done here. But I do have a very defined set of rules for picking the correct contract. All right, but I'm going to look at some charts. So STX, I'm already in, so I'm not, I'm looking for new trades. So I'm going to walk down that spreadsheet, type in these symbols real quick, and just start walking through, see if we can find some trades. Okay. So the next one on the list is LILA. Yeah, you see, it is down below the cloud, but this is a very long downtrend. It's over. It's too late. I do not chase trends. So it took me about 2 seconds to figure out whether that thing made sense or not. Ah, TXN, Texas Instruments. I like this. I like this a lot. And it took me about 2 seconds to figure that out, because I see a couple things going on here. So we had a long uptrend. Look how price just broke down through the cloud. We got a lower low, lower high, new low. I got a momentum indicator down here that shows me it's going negative. And not only is it going negative, but it's starting to get bigger, right? We're starting to grow in negative momentum. So now I can establish a price target for Texas Instruments. So here's the beginning of the trend. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So we got a target for wave 4 between the two blue lines. These are Fibonacci retracement lines, 38.2 to 61.8. Midpoint of this is 66.2. So this trade is actually ready right now. I'm going to expand this a little bit. What I do is I draw a line. Right here is the entry, Friday's close. Now we'll see what it does on Monday. I would put my stop right up here at the top, last major high, and I would put my target would be right inside, a conservative, right inside the higher of the zone here. So I want to make sure that the risk to reward makes sense even at the lower target, lower dollar value target here. Okay. I'll take a look at some other symbols in a minute. I'm gonna get through this. So Texas Instruments, look at this. So I'm going to put this, let me write down the parameters here, because this is a good trade, I think. Meets my rules. So TXN, it's got an entry right now, 79.02, target of 70.86, and a stop of what? 84.78. So let me add this to my my watch list here. Again, if you're here at the end, I will pop this data into a spreadsheet and you can download it. So this is a short trade. We found it today. My entry is 79.02. My stop is 84.78. And my target is 70.86. It's got a reward to risk ratio of 1.4 to 1, so that's good enough. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. James says, how do I determine my target? It's the Fibonacci retracement zone. So I measured this entire bullish move up, and then we have evidence that it's beginning with a lower low, lower high, breaking through each local cloud, negative momentum. And so I measured this big bullish move, and this is the Fibonacci retracement zone, and my target is at the top of that. Yeah, Paul, this is something inside TradeStation. Yeah, Mike, I'm not a Forex trader, so I'm focused on stocks and options here. You're welcome. Okay, so we found a good trade. We got it listed. This is Texas Instruments. That's the first one. That was only the second chart we looked at. It's not too bad. Typically, it's about 1 in 10 to look at 10 charts to get a good trade. Let's just keep scanning. So what I'm working off of is the spreadsheet that I developed, right, of all the potential trading ideas here. And we looked at, I told you I was already in STX. LILA was no good. We're going to look at ULTA. We're just going to keep marching down the list here. David's asking, with the stop that far away, wouldn't you lose all the premium you paid for the put? No. No, I'm buying them way out, pretty far out in time. So I typically, if it's going to stop out, I lose about 20 to 30% of the premium I paid. But it goes to my target, I typically make about 100%. And I win more than I lose, so that's a pretty good ratio on the option. And that's, you know, there's my live account, right? 105% profit, 80% profit, you know, on some of these trades that we've been in for a while. So that's real, man. I have a formula for determining how far out to buy, and I measure the length of the previous waves and then project how long I think the next waves are going to take, just based on history, how fast the chart's moving. Again, there's a whole process I go through in option contract selection, kind of out of scope for here, because I want to make sure we find some good trades. Okay, so we found TXN. Let's keep going. They're great questions. I'm tempted to go down rat holes because I love talking about this stuff. So this one, Drew says, tell them to take your course. I do have a course. I absolutely do have a course. Would this work with futures options? Yeah, this works with analyzing futures charts. And so if you're going to trade an option based on the chart, it would absolutely work. ULTA, this actually had a 3 and a 4 and a 5, so I'm not, well, let's see, that wasn't a 4. So this might be a good one. This is very similar to Texas Instruments, to TXN. This one actually looks okay. I was wondering if that was a 4, but it didn't retrace deep enough. So we're looking for a wave 4 here, and it looks like we would have a target. Here, so if we were to get in now, and see, this has been a long move. There's no pull up yet, so our stop would have to be up at the top. I place my stops based on Dow theory, higher highs, higher lows. And so on this one, we can just visually see that if we enter here, we have a stop here, which is a legitimate place for it. It's about 1-to-1 for the reward on this. I'm not interested in 1-to-1 trades. So I'm going to pass on ULTA. Let's go back to our list. Keep looking. That's a pretty KHC, Heinz Craft. That probably maybe already did 5, and it's kind of a messy one. So this one, look, big long down move already. Liberty Global Lilac something. This would actually be looking for a bullish trade if it can break up above the cloud. I'm not interested in that right now. Fastenal. Yeah, pretty messy chart. I don't like it when they're erratic like this. I like more orderly markets. So this one looks like Texas Instruments. When we measured ULTA, there wasn't enough profit in it to meet my criteria, but let's see how this one does. So we got a target down here. Now this one's got a better place to put a stop. We don't have to go clear the top. See, we had this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we got a good place for a stop right here at this red pyramid. Pyramid's an indicator from traderscoach.com. It just calls out these great stop placement and entry points. So there's my entry at Friday's close. Hey, look at this. This is going to be over 2-to-1. So I like this one. I'll catch up on a few questions here. Sierra says, what price and volume criteria do you use? Well, I'm walking through it right now. We use Elliott Wave, a combination of Elliott Wave and Ichimoku Cloud, right? The price pattern. I have a minimum volume. I want to see at least 200,000 shares a day traded for it to be liquid enough for me to trade, but I don't have a volume indicator that I look for trade entry. I just want to make sure it's liquid enough. JT said, heard it said, never be in the same room with 2 Elliott Wave traders and something sharp. Someone's going to get cut up. That's funny. That's funny. My mentor, Bennett McDowell, and I, because that's true about a lot of Elliott Wave approaches, is not repeatable, right? And people argue about wave counts. When we use a simple approach, there's not much to argue about because it's so simple, so clear. Just write down the parameters for this trade here. Again, I use a simple approach to Elliott Wave, and let me show you a book. Again, I said Bennett McDowell was my mentor. Elliott Wave Technique Simplified. So here's a book. If you want to learn more about this, of course, you can take my class. But Elliott Wave Technique Simplified, Bennett McDowell, he literally wrote the book on it, and I wrote a chapter in this book as well. Super good book. Simplified is the key word. So many approaches to Elliott Wave are way overcomplicated. What I do, Ray, is I establish Ray's asking, do I set my trades up to execute the next day? If the criteria for entering the trade is met, yeah, I just go stage the order. I'll go stage a limit order. And then if my criteria is not met, if I'm looking for price to get to another level before I get into the trade, then I use a stop limit order. Stop limit is triggered by the stop price, the trigger price being hit. Okay, I was gonna put this one on the list. Dave says overcomplication allows you to pick the scenario you want to see. I think you're agreeing with me to keeping the approach simple, right? Yeah, good. This is a short trade. Entry is 81.43. Target is 74.35. Remember, I'm going to give you all these trades. I'm going to download these to a spreadsheet for you. And the stop is 84.16. Yeah, 2.6 to 1. That's pretty nice. All right, well, we picked out a couple nuggets here on the NASDAQ 100 that look like they might be good candidates. We had talked about the Biotech earlier, and I think there's some good ones there. So I said when you sign it, we'd find at least 5 good trades. So let's go look. We got 2 from the NASDAQ, right? Let's go find some from the Biotech world. So I can import a list of symbols here. Let's use the NASDAQ Biotech. So here they are. It's generating the indicators, and I've already put this on a spreadsheet as well. Wow. Can you guys still hear me? I just got a warning that my trading connection was lost. Okay, we're still good. Thank goodness. Okay. Here's my biotech list. All good, says Greg. Thank you, Greg. So let me do that same sort. But we're looking for bull. We're looking for long trades now. Long trades in biotech. And here we get a prioritized list. Are these scans available any other products other than TradeStation? I believe thinkorswim has very similar functionality as, I think Ninja's got a table or something. I know Ninja's mostly for futures. Ninja does not have a free Ichimoku cloud indicator. Okay, so here we go. Here's a list of prioritized. I'm gonna start looking at symbols in just a few minutes, Ray. I just wanted to get through and find a couple here. So I'm just going to walk through this list of prioritized symbols real quick. I hope I have data, because if I don't, this is going to be really hard. Okay, looks like I'm getting it back. So I'll go back to a chart. I'm just going to go through that list from the spreadsheet that I generated. I'll start from the top, and I'm going to go really fast. That's a mess. I teach a Master Traders course, and one of the things I teach in that course is how to look at a chart within a second or two, know whether there's any potential, whether we should spend any time analyzing it. Some of the people who've graduated my course are here right now, right? And they're going, look at this mess. This chaos. I don't know how you try and trade that. Nope. Nope. For the percentage above the cloud, what I'm looking for is ones that are closest to the cloud. that means it's earlier in the trend. If it's broken through the cloud, but it's still pretty close to it, that tells us that this may have just started. So this is interesting. This is NTLA, Intellia Therapeutics. It's got decent volume, at least on Friday, 1.3 million shares. Looks like it IPO'd recently. There's no history back beyond here, but it's had time to kind of work itself out, hasn't it? So what we got is a big impulsive move down, and then it channeled, and now it looks like it's breaking out. It's just putting in new highs. Took out this previous high here. This one looks like it could be ready to go. And where could it go to? Could go to here. So it's a lower price stock. We got a target here, just on the inside of this retracement zone. Not sure if this is going to have enough profit for us. There's the closing price. Yeah, it's not going to be good enough. Our stop would have to be down here. Not good enough. Yeah, no options on it. I'm not surprised. Probably too early. It's a fairly new stock, new issue. So that was worth analyzing, right? That was worth analyzing, but just a quick visual, we can see there's not enough profit left for that one. Let's keep going. DBVT. Nope. Nice move. Well, you couldn't have caught that. That just broke with no warning. So no, too late. Yeah, David's asking about my Ichimoku Cloud settings on my chart. You may have noticed they're not the factory settings. I've got an entire method, right, that all those components go together. So there's a course, an Ichimoku Cloud course listed on my website where I walk through the entire thing, how to set it up, how I do it. So Legend is breaking out. Was there a bigger move down before? I can't see it. What do we got? No, not really digging it. Not really digging it. Keep looking. No, wave format is 31. You got me confused. Just a second. Amgen, no, this one's a mess. So this could be a new trend. This is pretty interesting. A little harder to get a target. So this had 5 waves down. So there was 3, 4, 5 kind of failed. Now it channeled. Now it looks like it might be breaking out into a new trend. Now this is one I wouldn't want to take this trade till it puts in a new high, till it really breaks out of here. It's not doing that yet. So I don't think I'm going to be listing that one just yet. Okay. That one wasn't any good. So that scan isn't really yielding us a bunch of fruit, but that's, you got to go look, right? So let's take a look at some of yours. Maybe we'll find some. So I'll start. Nadine says ICPT. Oh, I just looked at it. Yeah, that's funny. It came up in the scan, isn't it, Nadine? I see your point. You say you pointed that one out last week. Yeah. Did I say the same thing last week? I hope so. Arthur wants to look at RIGL. It does look good. We just want to see it put in that new high. Yeah, I don't like RIGL. Pretty chaotic. It's actually in a downtrend right now. You know, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Did take out previous highs, so it could be returning, but it's a pretty chaotic chart. ILMN. Seems like I've looked at that one recently. Yeah, same thing. It's very chaotic. NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks like it's getting ready to correct, potentially. We've got a lower high. See, it didn't go put in a new high, which is the hallmark of an uptrend. But it hasn't really put in significant lows, hasn't broke the cloud, the momentum's not negative, so it would be very early. So there's potential of a correction beginning, but it's not proven yet. GILD. Well, guess what? Gilead is a great trade setup, and we're in it. So this is a trade I published to my subscribers, and I'm in this. And we got in this day, Thursday, at the open. Very nice. We think Gilead's going up to 86 bucks, 85.99. So that's a nice one. XIV for Bill. Wow, Bill says they cured his Hep C. Yeah, everybody, you know, big pharma is easy to bash. A lot of people like to bash it. Till you need the meds, right? Yeah, XIV it's a beautiful, pretty orderly market, beautiful trend, but it's too late. I don't chase trends. ALXN. Yeah, it would have looked good for a short here, but now all of a sudden this little run up looks like it's changing. Yeah, not crazy about it. UPS. UPS actually has a long trade right now. So here was the bullish move up right here. This is wave 3. You know, there's no reason to overcomplicate Elliott wave. You just look for a big, big, big price move. Well, there it is. Then you look for a correction. There it is. Then we look for the next move up. Here it is. So this retraced perfectly, right? There was a big impulsive move up. It retraced 38.2 to 61.8, Matt. And then now we have clear evidence of wave 5 beginning. And so wave 5 projection using Fibonacci extension tools, the wave 5 target zone on UPS is 120 to 132. We could enter this trade right now. There would be our entry price, you know, something close to that on Monday. Our stop would be here, and our target is up here. So let's put this one on the sheet. And that was Richard. So everybody give Richard a round of applause. And so the entry is 110.29. Stop is 105.78. And the target's 121.18. That's a long trade. 2.4 to 1 reward to risk ratio on UPS. Very good. Okay, let's look. How are we doing on time here? TEVA. I'm going to look at a couple more. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Who is this? Daniel. Daniel, head of the class. This is the best one we've seen all day. And that's because look how orderly it is, right? And it's just now changing trend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Positive momentum, breaking through the cloud. This is a great biotech bullish trade. I love it. Seriously, I'm probably going to take this trade Monday with my own money and publish it to my subscribers. Look at the reward to risk on this. It's going to be over 3 to 1. So let me just make note of this real quick. So our entry is at about 32.62. Stop 29.91. Target 42.69. $3.7 to 1. Okay, that's a beautiful one. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, Brad. He wants POT. Not sure if that's a symbol or you're just having a little craving there. That's a joke, man. You know, we had traded this before. We had tried to go short on this. I think we did okay. It's not very orderly right now. Don't like it now. Bank of America. These banks are going to correct one of these days. Big move up. We're looking for a correction. I got this green line drawn. Here's the zone we were looking for it to correcting, but right now it's channeling, and it just hasn't. It's got to put in a new low, and then the question will be, where do you put your stop? And is there enough profit left on it? Arthur says, what if TEVA gaps up? Always comes down to reward to risk. That's the answer, Arthur. So I've calculated reward to risk on here. I don't go below 1.2 to 1. So as long as there's a good amount of profit left relative to the risk, still a good trade. Nadine would like to look at CBS. That's not a bad correction starting. It's pulling up, so we have to wait for it to go and put in a new low. And I don't think there's going to be enough profit left in that when that happens. It's worth looking at for a minute, but I don't think it's going to be good. There, Nadine. PRGO. So here it is again, exactly like the other one, like TEVA. I'll bet you this is a Is this a biotech? Trades at great volume. Probably got an option market. Generic drug. Okay. So I've got it blown up so we can see current price action, right? Look how much this thing's been beaten down. So the target is up here, unbelievably, up above 118. You could be conservative because it gapped down. You could put it right under that gap. You're still going to get, you know, the stats are still going to be good on it. The stop would go here under this low. And your entry, now this is interesting. Look at this. So we are breaking up above the cloud. We do have positive momentum. 1, 2, 3. 3 highs. 3 times price went to that exact same level at about 76.46. I want to see it break. I want to see it break. This looks good, but let's let it be real, right? And not stall again at these levels. If it breaks that, you got a great trade here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the list, right? But just note that it's not triggered until it gets above that. You know, call it 76.50. Let's make that the entry price, 76.50. And I'll bet that has a nice option market. PRGO. Okay. Well, I said we'd get 5, and we got them with your help. Okay, very nice. So now what I'm going to do is put this on a spreadsheet and give it to you. Just going to copy all this. Save. This is FMT Saturday scanning. Okay, in the GoToWebinar panel, there's a handouts thing, and I'm going to attach that file. It is posted. It's yours. David wants to look at the chart for TEVA again. Okay. There it is. Big, huge, impulsive move down. Nice evidence of a correction beginning. Nice correction zone defined here. Pretty orderly market. You know, look at when I've used that term, orderly market and chaotic market. And here's another orderly market. This is PAGP. Look, you know, just how smoothly price moves. Big, huge move down. Nice correction up. Next wave down starting, clear evidence of it. We got short on this one at 31.76, and we are in 22% profit on the shares, and on the option we are in 52% profit. That's what orderly markets give you, is some predictability. It's really cool. Yeah, Matt, it's simply a stop limit order. Oops, not that. So your order type, it's not going to let me, it's right here, stop limit. And if you choose stop limit, it's grayed out because it's, you know, outside the market orders. You put in a stop prices, which on that, the last trade we looked at, PRGO, would be 76.50. So you put the stop price of 76.50. The order's not triggered till then. Then the limit price, you know, put it 5 ticks up or something so you get it, if it's moving fast. That's all. Yeah, for the options, there's a few more steps, Matt, and it's kind of outside the scope here of this session. Okay, so I want to also, if you guys would like these spreadsheets here, this is the whole list. This is the biotech list that I filtered. I will give you this one and the NASDAQ 100 that I filtered as well. You can download these. So let me attach those now if you would like. There's a handouts section in the GoToWebinar control panel. Everybody able to find that okay? Okay, everybody's saying yes, but no, yes, no. See them but cannot download. I'll attach them when I send a link to the recording. I'll attach the files there as well. Yeah, I think GoToWebinar depends on the platform you're viewing it on, whether it's going to work or not. Yeah. So we have I run a live trading room every the mornings, Monday through Thursday at the open. We do quite a bit of this. We're analyzing the market. We're watching intraday how futures are moving, and we're looking for trades. And in the live trading room, we call out trades just like this. And we've got, here's the open positions. We got long and short, and not every trade wins, but if you add this up, we got about $15,000 in profit on open trades on a $50,000 model account. So that's the trading room. And I run a stock and option pick service where I publish, if you don't want to go to the room, I publish the picks, and our results are good. Our results are good year over year over year. They're really good. So you can, if you're interested in looking at the my year-on-year performance in trading, it is on my homepage here at Follow Me Trades, and I list. Here's a table with year-to-year results, and you can see the details of every single trade. I try to be completely transparent, right, in what I do here and the performance that we're getting. So if you're interested in being part of that, either the live trading room or the stock pick service, I got a special offer here. So for the stock pick service, the list price for that's $127 a month. It's a good deal because people are making money at it, but I'll let you try that for 30 days for just $39, right? And money back guarantee. You know, 39 bucks, you get 30 days. If during that 30 days you go, nah, it's not my thing, not working for me, then send me an email, give me a call, give you a 100% refund. No questions asked, no hard feelings. And ongoing, there's a discount. It's only $97 a month, which is a discount from the list. So there's a link. It is a tiny URL, FMT Picks 39. I will copy that, and I'm going to put it in the chat area. So hopefully that worked for you. Oh, there's always a risk of that, huh? Manny says, hey, I'm paying list price. Send me a note, Manny. I'll fix you up, okay? You're welcome. I want people to be happy, you know. Also, you can get a discount to try my live trading room. List price $79. You can get it for 59 bucks a month. It's a lot for, we're making real profit in there. And again, that's a, it's a discounted rate. And try it. And if within the first 30 days it's not your thing, it's not a fit, that's cool. It's not for everybody. 100% money back guarantee, refund, no questions asked, no hard feelings, right? And now here's the special, the big deal, BOGO, buy one get one. If you sign up for one of those, either the trading room or the picks service, if you sign up before I hang up, you can get the other one for 30 days for free. So you take a trial of the trading room, and you get the picks for 30 days. You take a trial of the picks, you get the trading room for 30 days. William, do I suggest option spreads? I'm a directional trader, William, so I don't trade spreads, right? Now, if you like trading spreads, I analyze the charts just like we did here, right? And you can trade that however you choose. The option parameters that I give are directional. Like on PAGP, we just buy the puts. And on UL TEVA, we're going to buy calls. That's how I trade it. Daniel says he uses an hourly scan. I think 60-minute charts are pretty good for, you know, like given about a week to two trend. Don's asked, do I swing trade? Swing or trend, right? I'm interested in the overall trend, like this one I'm showing is PAGP. You know, the overall trend is down. There was the impulsive portion, there was a corrective portion. We're taking the continuation of the trend. So, you know, you call that swing or trend. I'm just trying to catch a segment of the overall trend, right, that has a high probability and good clarity on it. Here's a bullish version of this. We traded Baxter. We took Baxter back here at the beginning of the year, right? Projected. There's what it looked like when we took the trade. Right. There's when we got in. We said, hey, big bullish move up, nice correction. Looks like it's starting, projecting a price target zone, and there it goes. Woohoo! Right? We trail our stop up during the trade and end up getting stopped out here. We look at that segment of the overall trend that we caught. Very nice, 48.63 up to 58. Right? That's about a 20-something% win. I'll take it. Yeah, the Ichimoku cloud settings are in my course. I include the settings with the entire approach. I have the settings that I use, and then the exact trade setups. You get a PDF that you can tape next to your monitor. So that's how I try and do it. I just want to give the whole thing and not just little pieces without context. David says, why don't I scan the penny increment options? Penny increment options. Not sure what that means. All right. I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. But again, if you want to take a trial to either the live trading room or the stock and options picks, again, I'll stay on the phone and answer questions about that service and help you get signed up if you're interested in that. And again, I'm going to send a link with the recording, and I'll attach the spreadsheets to that since people seem to have a little trouble with GoToWebinar downloading them. So I'm going to stop the recording now and just hang on here and then take any other questions you guys have, and I'll just hang out for a bit if you were interested in signing up for one of those services. So that's it.